Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, this is ScrapMan bringing you another episode of Trailmakers, and today we are trying again something that we failed miserably at before, but in scrap mechanics, so maybe Trailmakers will give us a little bit more success, and that is to build an ornithopter, which is a vehicle that flies by flapping. Now, I know it is possible in Trailmakers. I've seen some video of some flying before, but we're gonna save those for the end of the episode. That way, if we completely fail at creating our own ornithopter, then we'll be able to at least see some successful ones. Now, full disclosure, I have analyzed how some of the other ornithopters work, so I do have a little bit of an idea of what might actually be the thing to do, or at least a couple of things to do. There's a couple of different ways to do this, and I've seen people use different kinds of wings for ornithopters. I've seen people use the modular wing, and I've seen people use the helicopter blades as well. Now, I really like the look of the helicopter blades a lot more. However, they are heavier, and I don't imagine that they have more lift than a modular wing. But we're gonna try first with the helicopter blade, and there's a couple of different ways I can see it happening. One is to use steering hinges, and they just kind of flap like normal steering hinges would turn. And the other is to use the rotating servo. And from my understanding, the rotating servo is a little bit stronger and also has a bigger angle radius than the steering hinge does. So this might give us some more power, but this might be a little bit easier because it weighs a lot less, weighs 10 times less. So let's go with this first. We're gonna just go minimum weight, as little weight as we can. And let's just do a test first. We're just gonna do a really, really simple test where we're gonna put just a couple of these helicopter things right on the end of it and see, just see how this does if we just make it flap. All right, so I'm gonna put like a bunch of them together like this. And I think the best way to do that is to use these flat connectors. They're super light. They take up like no space whatsoever. And we can just connect them all like that. There we go. All right, so now we have to program the steering hinge. So we want it to flap up and down pretty fast. So we're gonna go like 0.2 seconds and then go down for like 0.2 seconds. And we're gonna have the angle be max and the speed be max. All right, so now let's see what this does. All right, that could definitely go faster. We could definitely go faster with that. Is that a 0.2? Let's try good old 0.1. All right, and go. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay, so now I'm gonna do an experiment here, because right now we're just canceling each other out and we're not getting any forward momentum. We also don't have a tail or anything like that, but that's just, we're just doing some experiments just to see how this may or may not work. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add a rotating servo, and this rotating servo is going to give us some angle to help our wings actually push us forward. So right now as an experiment, I just have it on toggle and it's not working for some reason. All right, so now we're gonna press control. All right, they work. And then this should okay, that's what that does. That's what that's doing. All right, but it's kind of working a little bit like I was hoping. I think 0.1's a little bit too fast. Let's go 0.15, halfway in between 0.1 and 0.2. See if this feels any better. Ooh, that looks better. It definitely looks better. So now I want to see if I can actually make it the flapping bigger with the steering by doubling up the steering on top of each other. Now let's see if this helps. Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't work the way I thought it would at all. We're gonna go with 0.2 again on all of them. Now that's weird. That is not what I expected. I feel like that's a result of them kind of both leading into each other directly. I'm gonna see what happens if we have a bit of a separation in between them like this. Maybe this will help. Oh, that looks much better already. Yeah, that does look much better already. Okay. I feel like slower is still the way to go, though. And one thing I was thinking about, I know that one of the ornithopters, when I was watching the way that it works, and I think this is a brilliant idea, is have the downwards flapping motion take longer than coming back up. Because when you think about it, if you flap down and then you come up kind of quicker and then flap down at a longer period, I think that's going to make it so that you're not just canceling yourself out. So I'm going to have it at 0.5 and then 0.25. All right, so let's see how this feels. Okay. So that's not bad. I feel like we could go a little bit faster though, and I feel like the angles on these are too much now because we're kind of hitting ourselves. So let's set the angle for the second one to like 30. Okay, that's not looking bad. We're definitely gonna need to add some weight to the back of us here because we don't even have a tail or anything yet. So let's just put this there, and we're going to add some steering hinges. All right, so now we got a tail that adds some weight as well. And here's what it looks like so far. The only thing I wish is that it would flap more. So that actually might be... That might be where the rotating servos come in handy. So I'm actually going to replace the 2 steering hinges with a single rotating servo. All right, so now we have the rotating servos doing the same thing. And oh, look at that. They provide way better lift. And let's actually tilt ourselves forward now. All right, I am already liking that way more. Okay, so let's stop ourselves. Okay, so the only issue is that with these, we can only really do like 90 degrees because we're going up and then down. So I think a way around this is let's set these actually 90 degrees up like this. And then we can actually go down way more. So we could have these now at 180 instead of 90. So let's see how this looks. They're going the wrong way. I gotta flip the direction. All right, now they're at 180. What? Do we already have it? We're doing it. That was, I did not expect it to be successful yet. Look at that. I want to add some more of those wings, the propeller things, and see, we're going upside down. Okay. I want to add some more propeller things, see if we can get some more thrust, or not more thrust, but more lift by adding some more propellers here. I'm going to go twice. We're going to have fun. Oh, I'm going to hit myself there, aren't I? You know what? Let's just go for it. We could just extend ourselves if we need to anyway. All right, let's see how this goes. Yeah, we're totally hitting ourselves. I feel like that's too much, though. It doesn't have nearly the same effect. I think 3 might be the sweet spot, but let's just try 4 just in case. All right, here's 4. Oh, 4 feels really good. Look at this. I haven't even tilted forward either. Oh, that's what happens when I tilt forward. So, the interesting thing is... the servos doing this are completely pointless. Like, oh, yeah, that's what happens when we do that. So if I don't use the... Okay, what's happening now? If I don't use those, then we're actually able to fly forward without too much of an issue. So I'm actually going to take them off, and we're not going to use them. And we're going to have... That's going to just simplify our build a little bit here. So these are unneeded right now. Whoa, whoa, this is interesting. This works completely differently now that I've deleted those 2 parts. And I wonder if it's the distance from the craft or if it's actually the fact that they existed. So I'm going to take each wing and I'm going to just move it back to where it was, which was right here. And instead of putting a servo there, I'm going to put just a placeholder block because I'm really curious if the servo is making a difference or if it was just that extra block of distance. Let's see. Wow. Okay, there's something weird going on here. So check this out. I have that single block in there, right? And this is what happens when we try to fly. Like, it doesn't work at all. But if I just replace these blocks with a rotating servo that does literally nothing, I'm just gonna have it sit here. Now watch what happens. We go forward and it like works. Oh, except what is that? Oh, when I use my tail, bad things happen. So it looks like that these servos actually give a necessary bit of flex. Because watch the servos when we flap. You can see they actually flex a little bit, and that makes a huge difference in how our wings actually function. And if you look at the wings now, you can see that even though I haven't programmed anything in, you can see that as you flap, the wings have this kind of wave mechanic happening, which I think is allowing us to go forward. So that is a really interesting and unexpected mechanic that is just because of these servos here. All right, that's cool, but it works. It works in our favor. So now I'm just going to make myself longer. so that way we can have more control and also get our tail out of the way. So let's see how this works now. Not a good start. There we go. All right. All right, this is, whoa. Oh, I think I forgot to delete some, oh. There's an issue here. There's an issue. And actually, this issue might have just made me realize that we might be able to control something that I didn't actually intend to be able to control. Because right now, both of these servos are set to A and D. So when I pressed A and D, it made things go really weird. But what if we can use that to actually affect our tilt, I guess we could do? So now, presumably, if this one tilts forward, then the left side of our craft, when the wing is tilted forward, should actually grab more air and pull that side forward. So we might actually be able to turn almost like a yaw with this. Let's try it out. So we're gonna make it really subtle at first. We're just gonna do 5 degrees. So it looks like that's not a lot. It's just gonna be that much. When we're flapping, we might be able to see an effect. So let's try it out. Here we go. We're gonna try to lift off. We're lifting off. This is working great so far. All right, now let's try to turn to the right. It's actually almost, no, not quite. Not quite. We're having that, we're going upside down, but we're still managing to fly somehow. I don't understand how this is working. Okay. That was weird. All right, no, the turning is having like the opposite effect that I thought it was gonna have. Let's see what happens when we, let's make it a little bit more extreme just to confirm that this is what's happening. So I'm gonna take it from 5 degrees to 20 degrees almost. Now let's see how this goes. All right, left. All right, it kind of like turns us left, but it's not the control that we really want. So we're just gonna set these to do absolutely nothing. Like literally nothing. All right, so now we have an ornithopter, but we just don't have the control that we want. I want to be able to fly this thing anywhere. I want to be able to tilt to the right, tilt to the left, and have enough control. We have pitch sort of right now with this tail. I'm going to give myself a tail fin as well, or at least some remnants of a tail fin here. I'm also going to put some aerodynamics on the front to hopefully just alleviate some of the air resistance when we're moving forward. All right, now let's see if this makes much of a difference. So we got the tail fins and we got the aerodynamic blocks on the front. Let's see what happens. All right, this already feels way better. The only issue right now is, so I have pitch, I'm pitching up, I'm pitching back down, pitching back up. Now, if I try to roll to the left, you can see it's actually kind of working. Now I'm trying to roll back to the right, and I just do not have a whole lot of control. So roll is the big issue right now. However, I'm gonna take I'm gonna take some inspiration from one of the other designs I've seen on the workshop, and I'm gonna add roll into the tail. So the way that they did it was just using a rotating servo. Here we go. Putting it in here, and this is gonna be A and D. So let's see how this works. All right, we're going up. Now we can turn. Oh, it's not working. Uh-oh, we're having that glitch again where the rotating servos aren't responding to our input. So I press A and, oh, okay, now it, what? Something weird's happening. What? What is going on? When I rotate A and D, this back servo is supposed to just rotate the tail, but watch what happens to the front servos. Ready? A. It's just, it's been, the blocks are removed. Okay, hold on a sec. And now does the tail, okay, now the tail works. All right, that was weird. That was really weird. Let's go ahead and try to fly again and see if this works now. That's actually working, kind of, maybe. All right, here, let's find out. Let's flatten out. Let's try to just fly straight. There we go. All right, now let's turn left. It's actually not working that great. I'm trying to turn to the left right now, but it's really not working that great. Oh, now we're stuck over the water, and I'm actually turning the opposite direction I want to turn. All right, let's go back, but we have a flying creature. It's like borderline exactly what I want it to be. It's almost there. It's flapping and it's working, and I did not expect this to work so quickly. But now I just want to be able to fly it wherever I want to go. Because right now it kind of goes wherever it wants to go. So how are we going to give this thing roll? Now, the easy solution would be to just put a helicopter servo, just one of these things, and then use that as like a reaction wheel. But I would love to be able to do it like a bird, like a winged creature, not something that's using an engine. Because right now, this thing is bionically, it has 0 power cores, but a helicopter engine requires 1 power core. All right, so I'm doing an experiment here. We're going back to these rotating servos. Instead of them doing an opposite rotation when I press A or D, I'm just going to have a 1 rotate right when I press A or D, and the other rotate right when I press A or D. So when I go to turn right, this one is going to tilt forward just a little bit. So let me show you. So turning right and turning left. I'm wondering if that's going to be enough to make a difference. Let's find out. All right. No. So we have a strange issue where we kind of twist instead of just turn gradually. You know what? We might be able to work it into the tail here. So let's actually extend the tail. We're going to put these into the tail, and then we're going to have the pitch come from this area here. But let's build the roll into the end of the tail here. All right, so now we have pitch like this, and then we're going to have hopefully a roll like this. Oh, I forgot to take my wings off, but you can see what I mean in the back. All right, let's give this a try. That was great. Okay, apparently that has made a wow. This is unexpected. Like, everything is different now. It doesn't even work the same. Is that all because I added those steering bearings or because I added these wings? Let's see what happens if I just put these wings back and now we just have the steering bearings. What? All right, I'm confused now. I feel like something changed that shouldn't have changed just by adding these steering hinges. Let's delete the steering hinges. Put this back where it was. Now we should be perfect. This is exactly the way we were working before. Oh. I really don't feel like that should make that big of a difference. Maybe it's just me, but that seems a little bit weird. All right, I'm gonna do an experiment here, and I'm going to change the speed from 0.5 to 0.4, and that'll hopefully make it go faster and give us some more lift. Okay. That's actually not quite what I expected. It does seem like it might be a little bit too fast, because the wings don't have an opportunity to really get all the way up. All right, still gotta work on this roll issue though. So with this new speed, I'm gonna attempt to put the steering hinges back in where I had them before and see if we can get back up in the sky. All right, so now we have this going on in the back again. Let's see if we can get off the grid. Why does everything, how much do these things weigh? How much does a steering, how much does a steering hinge weigh? 0.5 kilogram. There is no way that should make this big of a difference. I'm gonna do an experiment and make this shorter. Because I am just really confused at this. All right, let's see how this does. No, we still can't get up in the air now. That is super weird. All right, and then without the steering hinges, we're perfectly fine again. So somehow we've determined that adding steering hinges right here breaks the craft. We can no longer fly. So now we need to come up with another way to get our roll into this thing. Okay, I'm sad to say that after like 15 minutes or so of experimenting with different options, the only reliable method I'm finding to put tilt or roll into our creation is no longer reliable. No, it's the helicopter servo. So let me get up in the air first, and you can see that I can tilt left and right now using the helicopter servo, and it actually works really well. To be expected though. So like I'm gonna try to aim for this hoop of fire. We'll see just how much control I'm really gonna have, which now that I'm trying, it's really not working out that well, is it? Oh. Hey, we did it. We went through the hoop of fire. Now can we survive this canyon? I don't know. Oh, no. Oh, not quite. So this is really disappointing to me because this means that we're no longer in the Bionic League. I really wish I could figure out a way. Either I'm just not smart enough or this design just isn't good enough. I wish I could figure out a way to not have to use this. So let's go into the workshop, and there's a couple of ornithopters that have actually inspired this. And one of them, I think, it does have pitch and roll. It does have both pitch and roll without the use of any helicopter servos. So I'm going to save this because this is the only working one I have right now. We're going to go into the blueprints, and way over here, you can see I've subscribed to a couple of them. So here's one. Oh, I forgot to delete my other vehicle first. So unfortunately, I can't tell you who it's from because it won't tell me. It doesn't tell me who this is actually from. But this one is brilliant. Like, look at this. Look, oh, hold on. Oh, brilliant. Look how brilliant it is. No, that was my fault. Hold on, can we turn around, please? All right, apparently not. Let's see if we could just take off from the ground then. All right, nope, not quite. All right, let's try this again. All right, come on. Get up into the air. Get up into the air. Get up into the air. There we go. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Interesting. That's actually the opposite of what I thought it was going to do. So maybe I was onto something at first because this one, it just has the turning opposite of what I was expecting. It turns to the left in order to tilt us to the right. Okay. Well, we might be able to make ours bionic. So yeah, check this thing out. It's very similar, except his is using steering hinges. And it flaps much faster than mine does. And it seems like it's even, both going up and down, it used the same ones. But because the steering hinges are a little bit wobbly, it has like a flappy wing effect. All right. So there's that one. And now I'm going to show you the one that inspired my servo method. Because I kind of did a hybrid in between two different ornithopters that I've seen so far. So now here is the other one. Now I know you're looking at it, you're like, there's no way that this thing is actually going to fly, but this thing is a beast. So check this out. Look at how strong this is. It's amazing. It's amazing. So now this uses more complex programming than I use. So not only does he use the different timings for going up and down, he goes down slower than he goes up, or rather down for a longer period of time than he goes up. But you can see that he also tilts forward every single time he goes down, and that's what gives it such a strong forward push. Whereas the way that I'm doing it right now with the helicopter blades, the way that they kind of bend each other, I think gives it the forward push. And actually the servos, the two servos also helped with that too. So I actually might try just to put wings like this on mine just to see what effect it might have. But this thing works. So let's see if we can land. Nailed it. All right, so now that I've seen these two things function, I want to do two experiments with mine just to see what the end result will be. And then we'll see where that leaves us. All right, so we're saying goodbye to the helicopter servo, and we are going to say hello again to the rotating servo, but now we're just going to reverse the direction that it turns. So let's see if this works. All right, so now I want to pitch left. Okay, it's actually working. It's actually working. Now I want to pitch right. It's working. All right. It actually kind of works now. We can turn. This isn't as easy to control as the one with the helicopter servo, but now we actually have full pitch and roll without using any power cores. So we are officially Bionic League for our bird here. So now the next thing I want to try is I'm going to just put the big wings rather than the helicopter wings on this thing, and we're going to see what that does. Oh, can we dodge the ground? Oh, okay, we're fine. We're fine. Let's try to land somewhere, though. Let's land just, like, right on top of this muddy plateau. All right, and... not bad at all. Okay, so I'm saving this now as our winning design. And now I'm going to get rid of the helicopter wings. And instead, I'm going to put these types of wings on it. And let's see what this does. Here we go. I mean, I really should have... it's just going to slam into the ground right off the bat. So I'm not sure what I was expecting. If there was a way that we could, like, start in the air... We're getting it. We're getting it. Oh boy, this is acting differently. Oh, he blew himself up in the air. Okay, this thing is clear. I think it's clearly faster, but we clearly have some issues with this one. The wings are just too heavy. Here, let me take off one layer or one segment of these wings and see if it makes it any better. All right, see if this is any better. Nope. No, that's not the way to do it. My other design's better. I like it better. All right, well, here it is. This is the winning design right here, ladies and gentlemen. An actual working ornithopter. And I kind of did it on my own. I mean, I had a lot of inspiration from you guys in the workshop, but this is kind of a hybrid design of the working ones that I saw in the workshop. So thanks a lot to all of you Trailmakers that are actually making awesome creations. And thanks to everyone who has been following the channel and watching the videos. You guys are what makes this channel a thing. So let me know what you want to see in future Trailmakers episodes. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss them. And I look forward to seeing what suggestions you guys have for future Trailmakers episodes. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.